Howdy, 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 howdy. Welcome. Welcome to my channel, DataSlugger. Today, folks, we are going to talk about two polars and four functions and where polars is shining over pandas. As you know, and as a data professional or people that is using pandas for working with the Excel files, CSV files, or other many functions in the analytical data pipelines and data engineering, you are using most of the time pandas. Pandas have been in the market for a long time, but polars is it's changing, is faster in comparison to pandas, and also have four functions that maybe you don't know. These four functions is going to make, or probably you are taking the decision to move from pandas to start using polars, especially in the data engineering perspective. In some functions in where you are probably your computer is suffering because Panda is consuming all your memory. In this video, I will show you how Polars is going to shining or making your work more simple. These four functions that we are going to discuss, or I will show you today, is something that is completely different in how you are working, especially that is making that your memory in your computer or even in your server is not suffering, because as you know, pandas, it's all the memory possible that you can have, especially when you are working with very large data set. Doesn't matter if it's a CSV, Excel, especially with the CSV, well, in plenty large files, pandas is a nightmare. It's pretty common in if you work as a data analyst, data engineer, analytical engineer, or any people that is working with data sets, that you can have something like that. If you have probably some CSV that is massive, it's pretty large. We can talk, I don't know, millions of records. Pandas doesn't have any option that can make a lazy rate. This means that Panda need to submit or allocate all the file that you need to work in memory. This makes that the process in some moment can be unstable. Your memory is now being used for any other process. That's only your Python script that is using Panda. This makes that in some moment you can run out of the memory. That you can have some problems in the moment that you are allocating a pretty plenty large data set that is out of the memory that you have. Let's assuming that maybe your computer or your virtual machine or Kubernetes pod is only allocating 8 gigs of memory or 16 gigs of memory. Probably you are working with a pretty large data set. I don't know, holding 90 million of records. Well, we can say 50 gigabytes of memory of size. The other day, I was working with a one pretty large data set that was holding 300 columns, more than 40 gigs of memory and records. This is a pretty large data set. It's not easy to handle this amount of data in memory. This is in one of the part in where polars is shining in comparison to pandas. In pandas, you need to, or you don't have the option for scanning the your CSV file, for example. Maybe you are going to say, yeah, but we can make displaying only the first 5 rows using head, the function head, but at the moment that you are landing to use the function head in one pandas data frame, you have to allocate or read the whole file. This means that you are dumping in your computer, virtual machine, or Kubernetes pod 40 or 50 gigabytes of data dumping in one single chat. In this moment, probably you're going to have some problems. Is you try to make some other actions or try to working with this data set. Maybe you can start running out of the memory. Your computer can start being under the knees and having some problem. As you can see, this is one small example. I have a few thousand of rows, but I don't have the need to upload all this information in memory. Polars, as I was explaining a few minutes ago, Polars is making lazy reads, similar to what you have in Spark. That's the difference is that you don't need to have a cluster like you need for example Spark, Glue, and AWS. Talking about to AWS or Databricks, you don't need. You can use one single machine with 4 gig of memory, 8 gig of memory, 12 we can say. It make out some lazy reads. This is like you are streaming and couple batch the file. This you can make some scan. This scan of your file is like taking a small snapshot of the file. This is very helpful in the moment that you are exploring what data do you have inside of the file. The good news is that Polars is not only allowing the scan underscore CSV only for CSV files. You can use the scan function even against to the Parquet file. Only in the Excel file this functionality is not working or is not existing. Is the reality. Do you need before to dump in the Excel information in one CSV version or dumping directly to Parquet? Is you the good luck is that Excel never is going to be greater than 2.5 million in one single sheet. This is a good news. This means that you can dump the old information before in one CSV file or Parquet. You start using the lazy reads, making that this more simple. Let's see that. Let me show you how you can start using these functionalities or these 4 functions that we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, let's work against to this CSV file that we have here. This file have 13 columns, around to close to 2,500 rows. Less few 15 to hundreds about under, but yeah, this is the data set. Okay, let's start playing. Let's using polars. So you can see here, I will make something that is completely different in how you work using pandas. I will create this small data set, but this data set is not the normal the normal way in how you usually perform this action in pandas. In pandas, usually you first load the whole file using the read underscore CSV. This action is dumping the whole data set in memory. As you can see here, I using this part of my scan CSV in the function CSV, this method that is I will infer the schema. I know declaring for now what is the exactly schema. I will infer in reading the first 1,000 rows. I declaring like I using the red CSV function That's I have header in my file. Okay, let's do something that you are not able to perform in Pandas. This is the and how the lazy read is working here. I filtering. I will include in the scan um, one filter. That's this filter is looking for in my data set is looking for any card in the data set that's have the title of the car is clean. All right. Let's add other action that is not possible in pandas in the moment that we are. I have a no in this moment when I will perform this action. I know exactly loading the whole file. I only making the initial scan. This scan is going to create a preview. We can say this of my data set. In this case, Pollard is building a query plan first. This is why the scan CSV is very important because it's creating one query plan and how we can or how is the best way to store reading this CSV file and also sorry, here I make a mistake. Okay. All right, I have a load my data set. Let's see, that's just no errors. Okay, let's check it out. This let's see. Okay, as you see, he gave me one is initially small data set, not the whole file, the 2000 rows. It's not just because I haven't include all these filters and options. It's because that in this moment, Pollard have created one execution plan based on the scan CSV and also including the filters that I have added in the moment that this scan is happening. This means that Pollard was performing the action against to the initial snatch up that he had to take from the CSV file. I have created this small result set that we are displaying here. In this case, as I was saying before, this is like you are streaming. That's it. You are sending small batches, we can say, of data to the memory. I am not submitting everything in one single shot to the memory in my system. Maybe before to you have to start using Python for when the things get start while the requirements were more complicated to. Oh, let me remove this here. Yeah, before to you learn about to Python, you was using or you learn SQL. Probably you was more close to SQL, or you have right now. You are very well versed working with SQL functions, especially if you are data analyst. Oh, maybe no, but maybe do you know this kind of a functions that you can work in SQL. That's let's work with the column that we have in the data set that we have created previously. Okay, and now I will make something that is not possible, or is very complicated to do in Pandas. Maybe do you need to add a bunch of functions. One of the window functions that's similar to SQL that you can run against to polars is the function rank. You can use window functions directly against to your dataset. This means that if you are not, or probably you are not having access to the database, or do you need to request to the DBA or the data engineer to submit this spreadsheet in SQL for testing or using this some window function like rank, row ID, dense rank, all these window functions that's probably you need for building charts or making data comparisons. You don't need in this case to go with the DBA and tell, hey, please, can you submit this data set in the database? No, you can add the rank, even though you can create the or given some alias name like SQL to the data set. Is you as you can see, like in SQL, we have, for example, we are ranking here. For example, all the cars in this data set, as they are four in Pennsylvania, in the state of Pennsylvania, that have more cars. This means that have a sort of 44 or rank is ranking as a 44. Yeah, that's similar to SQL. That you can start playing with all the this kind of functions. As you can see here, is popping out how you can, for example, playing or using the function. For example, is we want to using the method setting as a descending the record. For example, is vice versa. That's and what well right now this is in descending mode. We can tell to use the descending as a false. Is we see as you can see here is the all the methods that these functions have pretty similar in how you are using the dense or the dense rank functionality and function window function in SQL. And now here is the part in where you are like me, hopefully that's you are going to fall in love with polars. The polars have one new functionality starting right now in polars version 0.20, that is that you can run SQL statement against to your data frames. This is one new functionality that polars have. Is pretty similar to Spark. Okay, let's query our our data set. Is okay. That's let's create a new data frame. This is this data frame and spores. Okay, let's. I will continue using the oh, in this case I will use the red CSV. In this case, now I'm moving away from using the scan CSV that was performing the lazy action to reading the files and using one query plan. That this means that he was looking for the best way, the whole reading the file, don't dumping the whole data set and or the whole file into the memory. Now I will do the regular red CSV like we are using Pandas, but here is that in where the things get very interesting. This new functionality, as I was explaining, that you can run SQL SQL statements or SQL queries against to the whole data set. You can use the table name in the case that you have a name it before um, the data set, and in this case, otherwise, you can use self. If you have worked in some moment with Databricks or Spark, you know that in Databricks, and specifically when I was working with Databricks, I was able to creating some views. That these views you can name it, start calling this view and other SQL queries in the whole Databricks session or the Spark session. Was a very helpful because you would then, well, recall what exactly data set you was using. This means that is you have a name it or giving some alias to the views or the table that you have created in the session. This is very helpful. Okay, let's do it. Okay, that's what we have here. We have read well, let's write one single SQL query. Okay, the sorry, the syntax is pretty simple. It's same like the syntax that we are using in SQL. The only difference is that you need to add some extra double quotation for in comparison to the regular SQL. Okay, as you see, that's have the self name, have the columns that's we have in the data set. As you remember here in our file, that's we have some columns. This is the price, brand, model, year, title status, mileage, color, and being price in, well, the condition of the car. Okay, this means that okay, I want to query or I want to see what cars with the title status they are, or the price is greater than 1,000. Okay, let's run this query. As you can see here, we have right now all these cards. It's in the case that you want to create a, okay, let's order by, for example, no, by price. Let's sort by year. Okay, okay. Let's make something different. That's okay. We have here, as you see, that our data set here, or the result set, have a chain. That's we have all the cards in sort by the year. That's that have the price over $1,000. As you see, I can select more columns in the case that, for example, let's add let's the state, in what state this car is. In the case that I want to include the state, you see, yeah, right now we have here this car is in the North Carolina, other ones is Ohio. If you want to create some grouping, for example, for running some countings to see how many records do you have under this state for one specific model or brand. Yeah, it's like you are running SQL statement in your database, but the make difference is that you are running this SQL statement against to your data frame. This is something completely different. The good part is that as I mentioned in Databricks Spark, that's in this case you don't need a cluster. You are running this SQL statement directly in your data frame using a single laptop, a single machine, your MacBook, your, I don't know, many other brands. You can run this SQL statement. You don't need to go to the cloud or having a Spark cluster. Yeah, it's here. Simple, like you are working grouping this data, for example, in Excel. Let's make the funny comparison against to the Excel. There's a, yeah, you are making a pivot table for grouping the data. Yeah, we are here. This is if the things get, oh man, let me say this is more. I feel excited with this new functionality. Let's move in the next step. The next example is, wow, your mind, believe me, is going to blow out. Okay, here is the part in where you are feeling the love is in the air. Okay, okay, folks. In this last example, um, one of the things that's in Word right now, portals in this new functionality is shining. Wow, amazing! Is that you can join different data sets. You can say, okay, yeah, but Panda can join also other data set, different CSV files in one single uh, building one new data set. But this case is completely different because it's not just that you are running or building one new data set. It's the part that you are join against to other. Haha, you see, you can join against to Pandas, PyArrow, or even though is you have one dataset that was is coming from your database, for example, you can run these joins and create other um, datasets that is coming directly from the database. For don't make so large this video, I have a pre-created this example. This example, as you can see, I building one pandas data frame. This data frame is pretty similar to what we have in the CSV file. This we have. I'm not adding all the columns, but I added, for example, the most important: price, brand, model, year, title status. Okay, and also I built in another data set, but this is the of the kind of the type by arrow. Okay, this is two completely different data set from two different libraries. And I can join this data set that we are building from these two different data frame libraries in one single SQL statement. Like we are working in our database. We are join three tables. One is, for example, the orders, order detail, for example, order customer. I don't know. Or one is the orders in the data warehouse against to the orders in the transactional database. This is one single example for you can figure it out. Okay, the join is pretty similar in what we have and how we work in SQL. The syntax is the same one. You can use left join, inner join. The only part that's I'll be honest, I haven't tested yet the whole how is working against to the our joins. This is the only one that is. I promise that I will create one new video just talking about to all the joins, the how you can work with this SQL functionality and parts. Okay. When you are working in Spark, working with the Spark data frame, that's we have our SQL statement here. That's we have the Polar data frame that we have created previously here. Um, doesn't matter actually is I using the data set that is being created from the read underscore CSV or from the scan CSV. It's the same in the order that you are for join. Sorry, in order to join the information here, we have our Polar data frame. We have our Pandas data frame. This is this folk, and also our pi arrow table. Okay, let's run this guy. Let's see what happened. Okay, it's not showing nothing, but it's not giving us an error. Let me see what is the reason. Oh, yeah, sorry, I make a typo. Yeah, because it's like the case sensibility is one thing that is plain in these queries. Okay, let's see. I will keep this guy in uppercase E4. Okay, this means that in this dataset right now, we are not even though that we have 4, it's not going to be present in the list. Let's see. Yeah, here's Toyota, here's Honda. Let's see now what happened. I will fix the Ford Mustang. Ford Mustang. Okay. Now it's here. Okay. As you can see, that's the joins is working. That is presenting the information for specifically these cards. And probably you are talking or you have the tech right now that I don't have any column from the coming from the pi arrow table. Let's add one column. Let's add we have the year, the price. Well, let's add the model again. Okay, the model here is. Let's remove the brand. Let's remove it. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happened. Should be work. Okay. Here it is. We have the model is the same one as you can see. This means that something interesting. It's joined by the brand because I'm making the join by brand, but yeah, it's returning in the other two columns only the model that is currently, but here is cruiser. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's in the way that's because I not join for when numerical or unique value is this picking or sorting in the way that's it's been making match. That doesn't means that is going to be in the same one. Yeah, because I know using the primary key and all these things, but as you can see, that's I have a build one new or final data set that is based in one SQL using joins and polars. This can make your work more simple. That this means that is you have different CSV files and different data set, or even though working with the mixing different libraries, you can use in one single statement. If you feel more close of or you feel more comfortable working with SQL, yeah, you can use SQL for your queries here, working with the data that do you have here, creating anything that's well, your mind or your imagination can help. Okay, folks. This video took a little bit longer, but I hope that you have learned many things new in this video. As we discussed, we were talking about you have learned about to the new functionalities in Pandas. Remember, Pandas for using the SQL statement need to be in the version 0.20. Uh, about to this version, yeah, all then is including the SQL statement. You have to learn about to what is lazy reads, lazy frames, and polars. What is the difference between scan CSV and read CSV? You have to learn and how the lazy reads is going to help you to making aggregation functions, sorting the data set using the lazy reads for with the query plans. That's make that you can start working with your 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 CSV file, Parquet file, in small shots that make that you are not breaking anything in the memory or running out of the memory. And finally, we were talking about to the streaming and small version. We were talking about the scan CSV is like the streaming process, and in one new video I will go more in deep about to the SQL statement using polars and also how to streaming the data set. This means it's not that we are sending data to other places. How the streaming is helping us for reading or data set or the file that we are trying to read for the data frames in a better way that says is making very helpful for when you are working with very large data sets. Well, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you have learned something new, if you like this video, please remember like, thumbs up, subscribe for receiving the notifications for new videos that I will continue sharing in my channel. Well, happy coding. Thank you, guys.